Hello, it's Hannah Donovan here from Donovan Veterinary Behaviour Practice. I just wanted to come on and have a quick chat about the term aggression. So in our world, behaviour and veterinary world, that term can be used quite a lot. I would be so bold in saying it can be thrown around quite a lot, and I think it's really important that we teach ourselves and use discipline with the way we decide to use that word. So for example, if we are veterinary staff and we are describing an animal's behaviour in their notes or writing anything down, or even writing down what the owners are reporting, so we're making like a clinical note of something, it's really important that we don't just term something aggressive behaviour. The first reason is that the term aggression has many different meanings to many different people, and it can be very different depending on the person's perception of aggression, the individual's perception of aggression. So what I would recommend for caregivers, as in owners, clients, behaviourists, vets, trainers, dog walkers, kennels, shelter staff, please try to avoid using that word unless you have defined it beforehand, and therefore your definition can be referred back to within that context of that individual animal, of what you've been talking about. Because as well, we need to be very aware that some insurance companies now have kind of blanketly decided they won't cover animals for certain things, and sometimes seeing the term aggression in any of the past history written notes, which could be veterinary or a behaviour report or the owner's email into the vets or the owner's report or something written somewhere, if it says aggressive, the dog was aggressive, or the dog shows aggression at home, or whatever it is we're trying to say, I would strongly urge you all, because insurance may not cover it basically for that, I would strongly, and it doesn't tell us anything anyway. The term aggression is most definitely not a diagnosis. It is a descriptive word, but it's basically just a label, and it's a not very well understood label. So if you can, try and think in your head, okay, if this owner has come into me, or caregiver, or if anyone has come up to you and said your animal's aggressive, or if a client comes into your practice and says he's been aggressive towards other dogs, or he's been aggressive in the evenings, please don't go, okay, and write that down. Go, okay, could you describe to me what he does in those times? What do you mean by that? What is your perception of aggression? So describe the behaviour. If you're reporting it, if you're referring the animal, if you are, even if you're writing it in the clinical notes, you could write, this dog, the client reports that this dog, whenever he sees other dogs, is barking and lunging and pulling at the end of the lead, sometimes standing up on his back legs, or whatever, lunging. And that is descriptive. That is so much more clear. That's a better history, history taking, and it's just less labelly, and therefore less likely to induce some kind of prejudgment. But it also, yeah, it's just more accurate. But it also means that you won't then struggle in the future if you've ever mentioned certain words that aren't actually diagnostic and need elaboration anyway. And the reason I'm saying this is because also a dog who, for example, some people might perceive a dog barking on the end of the lead whenever they see other people or other dogs as aggressive. But if you were to break this down, which is what we do for a living, and find out what the actual underlying emotional motivation, so drive for that behaviour is, a dog could be barking on the end of the lead directed towards a dog, another dog or people or something, for many different reasons. And for example, that dog might be wanting to play, and the bark could be a playful, trying to start and initiate play, and the pulling on the end of the lead is to get to the other dog. That dog could be really, really, really wanting to go up and meet that other dog, so it could be seeking to get to the other dog. Having a lead on, or a tight lead, or not being able to get to the other dog or people, if the dog is seeking to get to them, it's then being thwarted from being able to get to them, and this could then cause frustration. So that dog could initially be happy, if we want to anthropomorphize, to see these dogs or people, and then we're stopping them being able to get there, so then we could be inducing frustration. That dog, for example, could very easily be labelled as aggressive, but we haven't got, that isn't telling us anything about that animal. And if we were to actually look at the whole situation better, with our eyes on and our brains on the behaviour world, we would see what's going on there, and then we would be able to rectify that. That dog could be barking due to fear, so that dog might be fearful of other dogs, and that could initiate, or be the underlying emotional motivation. It's basically the underlying drive to perform that behaviour. There are many different reasons for certain behaviours we see, and we definitely can't sort of blanket label them. So I hope that very short video gets my point across and helps you to perhaps next time think twice about even just saying, oh, he's aggressive, oh, she's got a dog, he's aggressive, or oh, that dog was walking, look, he's barking, he's aggressive. Please try not to throw that label around, and please just think of me in your head at the time, and think, okay, no, hang on, let's describe the behaviour we're actually seeing. Let's objectively describe what we're seeing, and that will really help. That will help the individual, the animal. That will help the people who read it, because they won't then have a, prejudged, prejudiced, stereotypical thought on that animal already, a preconditioned thought on the animal, and therefore treat them differently. And it will help towards being able to get the right behavioural modification treatment, and everything. So yes, I've been seeing this for years, but it's worth saying. It's worth getting out there. So thank you. Please remember that.